viewers. It's another Wednesday with your fertility specialist. On behalf of Alps Hospitals, we love to say a very big thank you to our dear viewers. Thank you for liking our posts. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for always staying glued to your screen. I'm one of your hosts, Ruth Ogogo, and it's always a pleasure to be with you every Wednesday. So, today we're dealing with some issues that are associated with assisted reproduction technology, like you would have rightly seen on the flyer, decision making in ARTs. So there's, should I say, a lot of matters arising. So we want to trash some of these issues that shouldn't be an issue. So we want to see how best we could simplify those things that look like big deal to people, and so people are able to relate more and embrace ART that has been made available to them. By ART, I mean assisted reproduction technology. And to deal with these matters arising, we have Dr. Kenneth Eguda. Good to have you, Dr. Ken. So, for someone watching for the first time, it might interest you to know that Dr. Ken is a consultant gynecologist, he's an IVF specialist, he's a minimal access surgeon. He's, as a matter of fact, the first West African to actually have practiced or brought about minimal laser gynecological surgeries into West Africa as a whole. So that's a lot, like that's a big plus to him. So you can imagine that we have such a person with us in person today. It's a pleasure to have you, Dr. Ken, and I'm
Thank
sure
you.
our
Thank
viewers are
you.
also happy to have you. A lot, there's just a lot about Dr. Ken, but yeah, let's just get to the business of today and let's talk, because I know our viewers are really curious to know a lot about what we have to talk about with regards to ART. So we have decision making in ART. Well, I before we even get to the point of decision making, what do you think really makes it difficult for people to actually come to the point of, or okay, let me put it this way. When do you think people should actually eventually come to terms with the fact that they need to seek an assisted reproduction technology technique? When do you think they should actually seek for such help?
Well, it's good to be here on this platform. Um, I think that people should seek for care with assisted reproduction if or when they're having whatever they consider to be a delay in conception.
Okay.
Whenever they consider or think they have any form of delays, they should seek help. And how do I mean by this? Some people just get anxious when they have intercourse and pregnancy doesn't
Does not
happen.
happen.
you know, you just married 1 month, you
Yeah.
just have intercourse 1 month,
Mm,
and then no pregnancy, and
yeah.
then you're worried. You know, then some people married young, some people married very late. I mean, advanced age, and then they
Age.
go into marriages. I feel those ones should actually start seeking for help before they get married.
Married. Mm.
And I'm happy that the population is getting wiser,
Mm.
informed in science of reproduction, and
Yeah.
I see quite a number of people seeking help
Help.
and showing concerns about their reproduction even before they get married.
Mm.
And then some people who are not yet married, knowing that their eggs are waning,
Yeah.
declining, and reducing in count,
Yeah.
seek for help with what to do with those eggs and what to do with
Mm.
their future reproduction. So
So
the
people are getting
society is getting
enlightened.
informed.
Mm.
So if you ask me, as soon as a couple feel that pregnancy should happen and it's not
It's not
happening,
happening.
they should seek for help.
Mm.
And you never would know the number of people that will require advanced care. And
Yeah.
my stand will always be evaluate them, don't send them home. Because traditionally, ecologists will say, no, you just don't marry, go home. Just go
Mm.
and be having intercourse for 1 year.
Mm.
And when it's 1 year, then you meet the
Mm.
criteria for
For
definition
of
of infertility or
fertility.
subfertility, then you
Mm.
can come. And How about if they really have major
Issues.
issues?
Hmm.
You allow that 1 year sleep in 1 year. Do
Exactly.
you know how
Hmm.
much more eggs she will have after 1 year?
Wow.
Do you know
Hmm.
what ovarian reserve is?
Yes,
Do you know
exactly.
what problems are really
Hmm.
there? I don't even know if the husband has sperms,
Oh, that's another
because a
thing.
lot of young guys don't have sperms.
Wow.
So it
Hmm.
means that if they want to get pregnant on the first night of marriage, they need to do IVF on the first night
Nice.
of marriage.
Oh my goodness.
Has no sperm cells.
Yeah.
So I feel when you or they show concerns, or they knew that there were concerns before they get married,
Yes.
they should see as soon as it is a
Everybody has their
premium
goal.
here.
Okay, so viewers, yes, as this is ongoing, please feel free to drop your thoughts to attend to your concerns. So please them. So yeah, you've also you've made us understand that it's not too early at any point in time once the need arises actually.
Oh, sure.
So what do you really think with the society? Because and as much people are aware of this whole fertility, people still shy away from it, or people tend to still want to. What do you really think guides their decision, or what is really responsible for people holding back from assessing this reproduction with some of this? Maybe when they recommend that this person needs to have IVF, why is it difficult for some of them to actually even come to terms with it?
Okay, look, quite a number of reasons.
Hmm.
Um, one of the reasons is this. Okay, in the first place, when some couples come just for casual consultation,
Yeah,
with respect to having some delay with
with
conception,
consumption.
um, they just don't want you to talk about IVF, for
IVF.
instance.
Hmm.
They don't want you to talk about IVF because they're hoping and maybe praying
Hmm.
that these guys don't need to talk about IVF. So they
IVF.
have a preformed mindset, or rather, they
Powerful.
have a mindset
Hmm.
that they wish they don't want to have an IVF.
Hmm.
So because, for instance, in my consulting room, I
Yes.
see varieties of people, different ranges from all socioeconomic class, religious class, traditional cultural class,
Plus
and all
powerful.
age groups.
Hmm.
You know, now some feel that their problems are not enough to warrant IVF.
Oh, wow.
Yes, as funny or as uh, as bad as it sounds,
Yeah.
you know, even when it's obvious that their tubes are blocked,
Looks. Hmm.
they look for a lot of options.
First.
Can't you open up the tubes, for instance?
Hmm.
They have problem accepting IVF. They want
IVF.
to feel that there are a lot of other things you could do before IVF. Can't you just open up the tube? Can't you flush it open?
Hmm.
You know, it's not all about that. When the tube is diseased, it's diseased. You know, and all the procedures, for instance, to surgically open the tubes are not in vogue anymore because the
Hmm.
risks associated with them, should you get pregnant, it's high. It's high.
Hmm.
So reproductive specialists don't want to deal with those kind of risk
Risk.
because
Hmm.
the risk can cost you your life, ectopic pregnancy and all
Oh,
of that.
wow. Hmm.
So they just don't want to hear it. Then a good number of them, for instance, let's say a young girl in her 20s
Hmm.
got married and then she's not getting pregnant, and you find reasons why she should have IVF. For instance, say
IVF.
her tubes are blocked or her partner has no good sperms for spontaneous
Pregnancy to happen.
pregnancy. They go, the doctor, we're just too young for IVF.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, we're too young for IVF. IVF is for the old guys.
Hmm.
We're young, and You just wonder why they keep saying all
Saying
of
all
that.
that.
You're young. You can have
Society.
IVF from the first day of your marriage, even if you are 18, so long as
Hmm.
even if you are 18 years, for those that do all the
Yeah.
teenage
I
marriages.
know.
If
Oh
you're
yeah.
if you're 18 years, and then you're legally married,
Yeah.
or you're married, you can take decisions for yourself, and your
Exactly.
partner has no sperms, for instance, or has no good sperms for
Yeah.
spontaneous pregnancy.
Pregnancy.
That's IVF staring at you in the face.
Mm.
So you have to have it, or else you wait indefinitely. If
Wow.
things doesn't change or things don't
Hmm.
change, it means you're going to add age on age and age at the expense of
Waiting.
the quality of your
Quality
eggs.
exactly. Oh
You know,
no. Wow.
so one, they feel they are too young to have
Hmm.
IVF. So, and of course, it's not about the age; it's about the problem, the reason. If
For
your fallopian tube is blocked. If you are 18, 20, 30, 35, or even
yes.
40 or
Yeah.
42,
Hmm.
it's IVF automatically.
No
If
need
your
waiting
partner,
for so
yes, if your
long.
partner has no sperms, I mean, has no good count
Yeah.
to meet the requirement for spontaneous
It's
pregnancy,
pregnancy.
should be some IVF or some form of assisted reproduction. So age deceives a lot of people,
People. Hmm.
and sometimes they know that they accept it, but they still want to give it more time.
Hmm. That's and then buying time and then at the expense of should I say of their should I say family line now because
Exactly,
when they get
at the
to the
expense
point.
of their fertility life.
Hmm.
Because you see, when you decide to buy that time, every month you're losing eggs,
Yeah.
and so the eggs
Hmm.
you're losing are the best eggs you're having.
Yes.
Because the more time you buy, the lesser the quality
Wow.
of your eggs that you have
Hmm.
left, and then the more difficult it is to achieve pregnancy.
Pregnancy. Wow.
So is a deception. I mean, that's the problem with deciding to even accept
Except
that it's
IVF.
IVF that they need.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons.
Then
You
some
know,
of them families.
yeah, for some it's religion. Sorry, some is
Religion.
religion.
Hmm.
Religion. I think in this regard, religion has done a lot of harm. Religion
Hmm.
has done a lot. They probably were taught that everything about them is perfect,
Hmm.
and that God controls everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then God will make them pregnant.
Hmm.
You know, and
God give
so
baby. God gives babies.
yes, and then some religious sects feel that a baby conceived through IVF are not conceived in love.
Hmm.
And so because of that, they
Oh,
don't want to have anything to do with
oh
it.
my.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen all of that.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
their leaders would,
Hmm.
I mean, mention, maybe they will have coached or educated them erroneously
Hmm.
that this is not the pattern of procreation
Hmm.
that is historically mandated to humans.
Oh, oh,
And so
wow.
they feel it's some form of babies you're creating or something. So for religious reasons, they don't want to have it.
So this is me just thinking. So what of those that may be conceived from rape? How did the child?
Oh well.
So if they are attributing it to love, I mean, that means there shouldn't
Hmm.
have been a child from that. And pregnancy happened for some of them that actually go
Exactly.
through
So they feel
all that.
it's not out of love. But I think it's contrary. For me, I think
Yeah,
it is babies conceived through IVF are the ones that are conceived with love
because they're intentional
because
about
they are
it.
intentional and they make a lot of sacrifices. You
Yes,
take the
very
pain
true. Yeah.
go to the clinic. Do you know how many times they
Can
take injection? If
imagine.
you really don't like that baby, why do you have to go
Go
through
through.
those pains?
That's
It
very
takes an
true.
average of 3 weeks to run an IVF treatment, the
Hmm.
short protocol.
Wow.
Then it takes an average of 4 to 6 weeks to run
Wow.
the long protocol or
Protocol.
an egg donation IVF.
Oh wow.
Then the
It's
woman
a
comes to
lot.
the clinic making a lot of
No,
sacrifices,
no,
taking a lot of jabs,
no,
paying a
that.
huge sum of money. We're talking of
Yes.
money in the ranges of $10,000 to $15,000. I
Wow.
mean, for those who do it in
In
Europe
you.
and the United
Yes.
States,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
feel that is actually when the babies are loved.
Hmm. You're very
Because what's the sign of love actually? Sacrifice.
true.
Love is about
True.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
But so now you have some religious sects say because there is no intercourse. Who says intercourse is
Wow.
love?
Hmm. This is just hon-
It's just
honestly, yes, it's I mean, I should ask when this it's it's nothing. It's not. It shouldn't be heard of. I mean, because
Exactly.
it's not.
They say
It's
it's
a.
not conceived in love. What
Oh
is love
goodness!
then?
Wow.
For me, I think sacrifice is love.
Of course, of
Sacrifice
course.
is
I
the
mean,
real
yes,
definition
yes.
of love.
True,
When it's
true.
painful, you went through
Yes,
it
yes.
intentionally. You
Yeah.
went through it, paid the money, take the
Everything,
jabs, had a lot of
everything.
scans, take a lot of medication just to make a baby.
Love in every
That's the real love,
sense. Exactly.
you know. So religion does a lot of things, and religion restricts people from accepting all varieties of IVF.
And that's why they find it hard to talk about it, even when
Let
they
me tell
do
you one
it.
story. I saw a lady from
Yes.
a very big Orthodox Christian organization.
Okay.
She had infertility for a very long time,
Okay.
and then from a very young age, she had met the indications for IVF,
Oh,
and then her spiritual leader told them not to.
oh no.
But after a while, she got tired. She was now in her 40s,
Oh no.
and she saw me, and then she had sought a lot of help, and
Mm.
she's been counseled. This is what you need, and go see Ken and all of that.
Mm.
Then she was in my office with another guardian.
Mm.
I told her you need IVF, but this time around it's IVF with donor egg. Say why
Mm.
donor egg? I say because you're advancing in age.
Mm.
You wanting to do IVF with your own egg? I
Mm.
want to assume
Jim.
because you're not dealing with acceptance or no acceptance of eggs and all of that. But
Yes.
now you lost the opportunity because you heed the counsel in error.
Mm.
Now you are ready to accept it, and a more difficult option is thrown at you. So,
Mm.
out of frustration, she regretted knowing her leader
Oh no,
that he
that's
has
so sad.
misled her.
Mm.
She would have done with her ex, but
By
now she had to
then,
do with donor
don't
eggs.
know
This is
eggs.
not
Wow.
one person,
Mm.
quite a number of them.
Wow.
In all religions, call it Islam, Christianity, understand what the body is all about, and they claim to be leaders, they mislead people.
Mm.
Because even the religion said there is time for everything.
Yes.
Religion says it's time for
That's
everything.
right. That's right.
There's a time for your body to be young, and
Yes.
there is time for your body to be
To be
old.
old. That's
You
true.
can't demand for your body to do at an old age what it should
Yes.
have done
Done when you're
when you are
much younger.
young.
That's true.
So you see, the body itself is its own religion.
Mm. Oh yes.
The body has a
And it
religion.
differs for everyone.
It differs for everything. So you
Mm.
can't push the body to produce what it shouldn't be, what it's not capable of producing at a certain
Yeah.
age.
Mm.
You know,
So it's worrisome. Maybe if you could actually even share this right now with your spiritual leaders. Well, I think some of the spiritual leaders are actually enlightened, but there are
Mm.
some that are fanatics, and I think that's probably
For
where
instance,
yeah.
there was interesting one is that I'm Sarah.
Oh. Oh my god.
Well, all I remember is that we had one Sarah.
Okay.
And I can't
Well,
remember us having so many of them.
yeah, yeah.
So those strange things happen historically, and the accounts were reported just very spontaneously, just once in a while. So so
Right.
many people claim they are, but they are not. You see,
So
so
accept it.
culture also makes them not to
Oh,
accept it.
that's
So these are the things that affect their decision to accept
some of
or
this.
not. But the
Wow.
body is its own religion.
Religion.
The body, in my opinion, is its own religion because a child, for instance, cannot be expected to be pregnant at the age of 6,
See, that's true. Very
10.
true.
You can't be
Yeah,
pregnant
of
because your
course.
hormones are not even, uh, good enough to permit for ovulation and
And
all of
all of
those things.
that.
So you can't be
Yes.
pregnant. That's the same way can't you can't think that you should be pregnant when you start religion.
I know.
But I'm not saying that religion is bad. That's not my That's not
point.
my
Exactly.
my thought process.
So
Religion is good.
yeah,
It keeps people under control.
very true.
Keeps people under
Yes.
control. Accept what your religion accept, but understand your body.
Hmm.
And work with what your body is capable of doing.
Doing.
Religion
Hmm.
is good.
So, viewers, a lot has actually been said about why people find it difficult to come to terms with accepting some of the ARTs like IVF, and it's a big menace in our society today. A lot of people are actually victim of that. As a matter of fact, I actually know someone that, when I knew her, I think somewhere in 2023, then she was like 42, and so someone that married a husband that's maybe 20,
Mhm.
and she had one pregnancy and she had a miscarriage. Apparently, by the time they eventually were seeking help, the man's sperm had issues. So all along, for over 20 years, it means the man's sperm has been the issue. And at the point now when she was actually getting help, sperm has become an issue. She doesn't have eggs anymore. Yes, sperm was always the issue, but now
Now she has
no,
no eggs.
exactly.
And
So
then
it's, oh
she didn't have
gosh.
enough knowledge to know she could freeze her eggs.
Yes,
You see, so
yes.
you can
Oh
actually
no.
save your fertility. You can freeze
Hmm.
those eggs. Good enough nowadays, we see a lot of girls. Already, some of them are coming at a very advanced age already. When you're freezing egg at the age of 38,
Hmm.
40, you don't
Too
expect much out of
much.
it. So
Yeah.
this decision should be taken a lot earlier,
Early. Hmm.
when you're in early 30s, late 20s, and there is no prospect of having a husband and having babies, you could just freeze. And
Hmm.
then you forget about the trouble. Now they
Yeah.
waited for themselves, and
Hmm.
now
And
the
then
two problems
yes,
continue.
exactly.
You had eggs initially, there
Yeah.
were no sperms. Now you have no eggs, there are no
Sperm is
sperms.
honestly,
So
it's
that's double
just
jeopardy.
yeah.
So now you may have to use egg donation, which is
Donation.
also very good, and probably poor sperms,
They might end
and
up
uh, and
exactly
and uh, and, and
with
uh,
even they might end up using donor sperm, which of course the man is
exactly.
still yet to come to terms with.
You
So you
see,
can imagine. I mean, so sometimes I think that even for women, even when you have your spouse and they're finding it hard to come to terms with some
Mhm.
of these ARTs, I think women should be empowered enough to decide to go and freeze their eggs and not
Exactly.
keep waiting,
Don't
because
keep
by the time
waiting.
you'll be at the receiving end
Mhm.
at the end of the day, because yes, when the man comes to terms, eventually it's no longer your egg, and
Mm.
you might be able to treat with the man's sperm eventually, and then the
Now,
woman.
then there's something even more sensitive.
Mm.
You know, um, I encounter this on daily basis. So the stories I have about fertility are too many.
Hmm.
If I want to write a book, I will really write a lot
Can
of books
imagine.
about them. Sometimes some couples find it difficult to take decision because they are afraid of what the other partner
Partner would.
would say
Hmm.
or do.
Hmm.
Exactly.
That's a very common one, I guess.
And you watch them waste their funds
Hmm.
taking options that will not produce results for them.
Results.
For
Hmm.
instance, you see an advanced age woman, and all her tests has shown that
She doesn't
chances
have.
of having good eggs oocytes, it's very
Yes.
low
Low.
here.
Hmm.
And even if she has chance of having a baby that is healthy,
Pregnancy.
it's still very
It's
slim.
slim.
You
Hmm.
know, and because she feels her husband would take advantage of this knowledge and information and attacks her later, she stubbornly goes ahead to take her eggs
Eggs.
at that advanced age,
Wow.
and then it turns out negative.
Hmm.
For instance, if a woman is doing an IVF with her eggs at the age of 40, 42, the chances is less than 10%. Now you make a decision
Hmm.
to do an IVF with your eggs at 40, 42, where you have less than 10% chance, and it turned out negative.
Hmm.
Then you come back to your reproductive specialist. You say,
Speaking.
why is it negative?
Negative. Hmm. Oh no.
In the first
It's
place, you never decided for what to give you a very big result. That's
exactly.
to say, all parameters being equal, the lining of the womb is fine, the sperm is fine, and all of that,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of variables that pull down the success of IVF.
Mm.
It's not all about the eggs, not all about the sperms. It's a lot, some things to do with the uterus,
Mm.
something to do with the quality of the lining of the uterus,
Oh,
with the
wow.
general health of the woman, and with the hormones of reproduction in play or at play during the time of the treatment. So
Yeah.
there's a lot. So every decision should be tailored towards achieving success. And then you now ask her, why do you make this bad decision?
Mm.
She said, you don't know my husband, that he has a bad mouth.
Hmm.
He will wake up tomorrow and tell me this is
This
not
is your
my
baby.
child.
Hmm.
Well, that's in real life. I've had clients,
You do that.
who had called me,
Hmm.
and they say this is what their husband has said, and I feel very bad. Why should your husband say so?
Hmm.
I feel even when they make these decisions and make good decisions
Yeah.
and take options that have to do with donation, it's not a time to take it out
On
on
them.
on
Yes.
yourselves.
Yes.
You decided to achieve a goal with this. Okay, so even when you are angry, I think it
Don't
should
have to
be it should be a no-go
use
area.
it on their face.
Don't rub
Exactly.
it. So it
Hmm.
makes it difficult for them to
To come
decide to
to
do the
terms
right
with
thing.
it. Hmm.
The same thing happened with men.
Hmm.
You know, Men usually don't like
I
to.
think yes is worse.
I kind of agree with you. Men usually don't like to know
Hmm.
that they have problems, and that's where I actually feel for the woman. Air quality is poor, madam, it's you.
Hmm.
Endometrium is poor, hey, madam, it's you.
Yeah.
The uterus is not in good order, madam, it's still you. Hormones are not aligning, it's still the woman.
Hmm.
Injection, still the woman. But tell the man the sperms are fine, are bad. You say no, the sperms are not bad.
Hmm.
So we use it that way.
Exactly. Hmm. Oh
We
wow.
use it that way. You know, and then it turns out negative. You
Hmm.
just use it that way.
Hmm.
But there are women also that rub it
On the
on the
face
men,
of the man.
and it
True.
makes them feel that they are not man enough.
True.
So it makes it difficult for the man in this case to accept sperm donation,
Generation.
because
Hmm.
probably the woman will also rub it off on
On
him.
his friend.
So I think when it get to this point, they should ask themselves, what is the essence of this treatment?
Hmm.
Is it to continue in the cycle of failure,
Failure. Exactly.
or to have
Hmm.
a child? And when
Yeah.
it gets to having a child, what is our best option of having a child? You know, or why do we really need to have a child?
Hmm.
Is it because we want to have genetic connection? Of course, beautiful. Everybody wants to have genetic
Genetic
connection.
connection.
How about when you are out of time,
Exactly.
that this genetic connection cannot just work?
Hmm.
You know, how about being a parent to someone
Hmm. Exactly.
where one spouse has a gamete, the other doesn't? You sign a document to accept a donated gamete. So legally that becomes yours. So
Yours.
it's yours.
Exactly. Hmm.
And
That's true.
so you
Well,
take it, you move on with it. That's the way I see it.
so, well, viewers, Dr. Ken, as the way he's actually explaining, he's trying to make us citizens to understand and also broaden your understanding that you should keep an open mind to these things. They are not out of place. You are not the first person that would be recommended to have either egg donation or sperm
Mhm.
donation, but keep it open. And then I also think that as individuals, you should they usually I think it's written wisdom is profitable to direct. So, well,
Understand it.
be wise for yourself. I mean, you know your partners. Nobody knows your partner better than you do, so you know what works for you. Be wise to take your decisions. It's up to you to actually decide what you want, but just make sure you're going about it the right way, and hope for the best. But please, let's keep it open so you don't, like, there's something I picked from what Dr. Ken said. He said, we have to talk about it. Do you want to keep going over the cycle of
Mhm.
failures? I know that that's not something you want to do. If the goal is actually to have children or babies that you could call your own, why not have it? Just keep it open and
Mhm.
and embrace the options actually given to you.
Yes. So you see, what surprised me is that sometimes they tell themselves, instead of taking a donation,
Mm.
let's go for an adoption.
Adoption.
I'm okay with adoption. Adoption is glorious, it's good. It means you have a child to take care of, somebody to show love to. But I think
It's not the same thing.
it's a way of avoiding um, maybe the talks and the insults that one of the partner
Mm.
would throw at you,
At
that
you.
make them decide for adoption first
Adoption.
before egg donation or sperm donation.
Donation.
For heaven's sake, you are in love with your spouse, you
Yes.
know, and then you have a gamete coming from your spouse.
Exactly.
Even if you are going to take a donor gamete, for
Mm.
instance,
Yeah.
at least you have part of your spouse as in the baby you are taking,
Yes.
and then you're going to get pregnant and deliver the baby, in
Yes.
your home,
Yes.
and then you opt for an adoption so that your partner will not have a part to it and you
you
don't
have
have
a
part
part.
to it.
I mean,
Then what are we saying?
exactly.
Where is the love? See,
I mean, where is love extra?
where is the love?
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm.
So they do it so that it will be neutral.
But
I've once had a couple who was happy when their IVF failed.
wow.
Oh yeah, these are realities. They were happy that this IVF failed.
Wow.
I'm telling you the truth. He was happy that the IVF failed. Why? Because his wife took a decision to have the IVF, even when he feels he wasn't ready for
Ready
it.
for it. Wow.
Yeah. So he was happy it failed.
Wow.
And now he became happier when it's obvious that both of them
Oh.
were going to use donor gametes.
Wow. Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Wow.
You understand? So if I'm not going to
Just
be part
wanted to
of
be
it,
yes.
also don't be part of
Part
it.
of it.
Let it be neutral.
Wow. Wow.
Well, these are realities that happen. This is not in the
Yes.
books, but these are social events associated with fertility treatments. Okay. I feel they should love themselves. They should be
Yes.
willing to take options that are
Options.
biologically viable,
Viable.
but not
Yes.
taking options because you want to hit back
At
at
the
your
other.
spouse.
Yes.
You know.
So if I have is if I well I am for the our viewers watching, or just in case you might later come across this video, please, if you have this mindset of trying to hit back at your spouse, I think this session right now is actually for you. We're trying to, as much as possible, take out every junk
Mhm.
that you actually have with regards to IVF, using just IVF on its own, or using whatever garment that is actually maybe garment donation. Please, I think that we should all embrace it and not use it against our spouse. If I have a man watching right now and you're kicking against your wife using egg donation, even when that has actually been recommended, I think you should actually think twice. If you need to ask more questions, ask more questions. If there are some things you would want to have in the donor, I mean, just keep it open and embrace it. Your wife is carrying this baby, and I know over time we've heard Dr. Kevin and some of his team, and research have shown that even with donation, with regards to egg donation, sometimes the babies get some
Your genetic
genetic things.
materials,
Yes,
sure.
just not 100%. So I think we should keep it open and not discourage your wife. Or even sometimes the women are even the problem themselves. There are some women that will insist on using their egg even when
No,
their
some are really
spouse are
very,
actually
very stubborn. Some are really
yeah,
very
they just
stubborn.
feel
No,
like
it has to be my
how
egg.
exactly,
Yeah.
and all of
And one thing they say is this: I have a neighbor who conceived twin or triplet at the age of 50, and she was older than me, and she used their eggs. I say, come on, man, who is giving you this garbage?
oh goodness.
People don't tell their stories,
Yes,
so they
very true.
mislead other. If a
People.
woman got pregnant having triplet at the age of 50 and she said she conceived spontaneously, she'll bring her to us. Let's evaluate her. She's not telling what she did. You understand? She's not telling what she did. I'm not saying it's impossible to be pregnant with your egg at 50, but it is very difficult for that to happen.
Yes. Very difficult.
I have seen a woman before got pregnant. In fact, we did the treatment, got pregnant, delivered twins, and advanced age. But she went telling somewhere in a public gathering that this is how it happened. This is how it happened. God just gave to her. I was like, okay, now.
Oh
And
God.
that makes it difficult for other
For people,
women, because a
yeah.
lot of women in such gatherings who would see that such kind of error happen, and then they
Yes.
stick to the error,
Yes, that's
waiting
true.
on God to do similar for them, and God never
Yes.
did it.
Mm.
And so it makes the life difficult for
people.
gynecologists like us to
Oh,
convince them that
they
women
will-
don't have eggs at the age of
yes.
50.
Yes. A lot of times you have such comments.
You know,
It's it's
so people don't tell what they do. But
yeah.
the public should realize that more people do IVF with egg donation than
Yes.
those using their. But they don't know. That's the
Wow.
statistics we have. Yes, because you see, you asked me about why they have problem with decision. A good number of them
Yes.
have infertility while they are young.
Young. What did
Because they say they are young, they refuse to accept advanced fertility treatment until they
treatments?
get to 40.
Hmm.
And when they got to 40, 42, 44,
Hmm.
the viable options are now egg donation or ovarian rejuvenation.
Yeah.
You understand? And then they do egg donation. When they do the egg donation, they don't tell their friends they do egg donations. They
Donation.
are just conceived.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, it makes a lot of sense. No, wow. You have a lot of people testifying in their various spiritual places
Exactly.
that God just did it,
God
and
just
they
did
don't
it.
come out to
They
say
didn't
they
say how
actually did
God did it.
IVF.
No, they didn't say how God did it.
Exactly.
God used humans.
Yes.
You know, give all glory to God. He used
Yes.
humans,
Exactly.
you know, from
Yes.
different places.
Hmm.
And then I know he just did it. And ladies can be very secretive, but some are quite open.
Open.
Some are quite open. It's not everyone, but majority don't say
Say.
because one, the society has never really accepted.
Yes.
Even in
Exactly.
England, when the modern success in assisted reproduction is achieved, they see
Yes.
a problem.
Wow.
The
Hmm.
Anglican community never accepted it. The Catholic
Hmm.
community never accepted
Hmm.
it. Even Italy, for instance, I
Hmm.
train in all these places.
Oh wow.
There are things they don't accept. Yes,
Hmm.
we will treat you according to your religion, but know that any recommendation your religious makes may not be in keeping with biological sciences.
Science. Exactly.
If your religion say you must get pregnant with your ex, for instance, and you are 45,
Hmm.
just know that you are going to be making sacrifices for that religion because chances are that you are going to fail often
Hmm.
than succeed. Because
Yeah.
at 45, a woman
With
is
your own
almost
eggs.
done having eggs. And even if she has, the eggs have lot of
Quality.
problems,
Hmm.
lot of genetic
Um,
chromosomal abnormalities, and
hmm.
the chances of getting pregnant with those eggs are very slim.
Slim.
So you see that's just how it is. So more people do IVF with egg donation, and now we're even seeing that even a lot of young girls don't have good eggs.
Hmm.
So even young girls now are going to be doing IVF
I
with egg
feel wow.
donations.
Wow.
You
Hmm.
know,
It's
and then even sperms are going to be so terrible now that men will be requiring sperm donation. And by the way,
wow.
this may be sounding strange to somebody listening. There are international sperm banks
Hmm.
all
Oh.
across the world.
Wow. Hmm.
International egg bank
Hmm.
all across the world because women don't
Wow.
get pregnant, their
Hmm.
eggs are wasting. So there are people who have
Yes.
good minds who donate those eggs for
Eggs.
couples who want to get pregnant.
Pregnant.
Whether they are paid or not paid is another issue altogether. So it's
Hmm.
a standard thing done everywhere
Everywhere in the world.
worldwide.
Wow. Wow.
Everywhere worldwide.
So, I.
We've not
I.
even finished.
Hmm.
Now we have even pregnancy, baby involving three parents.
Hmm. Oh
And
wow.
this is constitutional.
Hmm.
And there's every reason to be accepted for it to be accepted.
Hmm.
As we speak, up to 8 babies have been delivered in the United Kingdom in England
Hmm.
following this kind of treatment. Maybe some other time
Wow.
we'll talk about it. People haven't accepted the conventional IVF and we're
Yeah.
making it complex for them.
Complex.
But it's
Exactly.
in the interest of the baby.
Yeah.
You understand? Three-man IVF, for instance. So how do you feel? Say, hey, this guy was given birth to by three parents. That makes me feel
Hmm.
like a genius. Three parents. I'm not regular, man. But that's good. It's because we're trying to avoid some genetic diseases.
This is.
Some genetic diseases that are deadly.
Hmm.
So, so instead of taking egg donation outrightly, you just take some part of the egg, transfer to some part of the eggs, you knock out
Yeah.
the disease, and then the woman gets
With
pregnant
that.
with
Hmm.
no genetic transfers.
Wow. Wow. This is
But
just
it
a lot.
involves three people. Eggs
Yeah.
from two persons,
Hmm.
sperm from one
One
person.
person. Wow. Hmm.
So these are the ways we're going. So a lot of people say things that make people not to accept assisted reproduction.
And I think for the men, sometimes I think one worry for the men, they feel like if they have to do sperm donation, baby is not connected to them in any way.
A
So,
man once called me
mm,
just in the evening, late evenings. I was like, okay, Ken, we need to talk. I said, fine.
mm,
I'm all ears. Say, Ken, have you ever thought about it? That I see a child walking in my house
mm,
and I realize or remember that this child was not conceived with my sperms. How would that make you feel? And
mm,
yes, at that point, I decided to put myself in his
the
shoes
shoes.
and reason. Some of these concerns are valid concerns. They are just concerns you cannot
Don't
You
have a
can't
control.
avoid, but
Yes.
it's
Don't have a
out of your
control.
control.
Yeah.
So, but then how else would you feel if the same child walks and it doesn't connect to your wife and doesn't connect to you?
You
Which is
exactly.
better?
Hmm.
In this case, your case, at least one person's garment is there. Or in
Hmm.
the second case, none of your garments. Would that make you feel better?
Hmm.
But you don't have sperms. What options do you
You
have?
have exactly.
You
Hmm.
understand?
Wow.
So I think people should accept their biological states.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Thing. Hmm.
And put religion aside.
Hmm.
The body is a religion.
Hmm. So
Our biological system is the same in all religion, whether you are Muslim, a
yes.
Christian, Hindu,
Whatever it
Buddhist,
is.
we have the same biology
Yeah.
and our body speaks the same language. We were
Hmm.
born, when we're adults, we start menstruating or producing
Yes.
sperm. When we're age, sperm's production and egg production gradually
It
stops. Then
declines.
women get to menopause and men get to andropause, quality
Hmm.
of gametes gone, and then we die. So the body itself is a religion.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
no religion can interpret it out of what it is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Otherwise, it will be an error,
Hmm.
and it doesn't change. Your interpretation doesn't change it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that is why I'm a Christian, for instance. Part of my Bible says that there's time and season for everything. And I understand it deeply in a
Hmm.
scientific way.
That's okay.
Yes, time and season. I look at the body. A baby is a baby.
yes, that's true.
If a baby starts sucking breast with milk, I mean, a man starts sucking breast with milk, is abnormal
Oh, yeah, very
in a
true.
way.
Oh,
If a
yeah.
baby menstruates at
Mm.
the age of 1, is
Mm.
abnormal. You seek
Yes.
for help.
Yes, sure.
So babies or girls start menstruating from 9 years and above.
Mm.
In our time now, it used to be
Yes.
13 and
I
above.
know.
Now it's
Yes.
9 and above. And it gets to a point, it stops.
yes.
It doesn't answer to religion because the
Mm.
body is its own religion. So
Yeah.
no religious people should change it. It is what it is.
This is what it
If you don't
is.
have eggs, you say you don't have eggs, obey us. We know this body.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Accept it.
yeah.
You don't need to pray about it because it won't
Mm.
change.
That's what it is.
It is nature.
Mm.
It's nature, it won't change.
Mm.
You understand? So the prayer I need to do is give me success.
I mean, was it not Solomon that said he has been under the earth and time and chance happens to them also? It means that
Exactly.
everything that will happen naturally will still happen regardless of
That's it.
you can't fix it.
You know.
Nature remains nature.
So that's why we all get old. For
Yeah.
now.
Mm. That's okay for now. Okay. So viewers, well, I know that Dr. Ken has said a lot about coming to terms with some of these technologies that actually made available to you. Please keep it open, and then for our religious people, keep it
See,
open.
before you finish,
We're not even finishing.
before you finish,
We're not finishing.
the head of IVF in the facility I work for Alps
yes.
told me a client, you know, just stubbornly says she wants to use her ex for IVF. At what age? 40 plus,
Hmm.
45 or 46.
Okay. Wow.
And she was so adamant about it.
Hmm.
Educate her very well because at the end it will be trouble.
Hmm.
Don't come and dash the facility some monies. We don't want money to be given to us for doing nothing.
Nothing.
Give yourself the best chance to achieve because you see, they make these decisions and they fail and they ask you why they failed.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Why did it fail?
So
Why didn't it work? Why did you make such decision?
yeah.
Because you see, any decision you make, our responsibility is to tell you what the implication of your decisions
Decision.
are.
Yeah.
And a good number of the decisions may just not turn out right.
Yeah.
If you are under some religious spell or some social or cultural spell or norm, or you are being stubborn for social reasons because of your kind of relationship, your husband will take it out on you or the wife take it out on the husband, you will make bad decisions. You make bad decisions.
Wow, a lot about IVF. Viewers, yes, we have a question. We'll take a question in a bit, Mafing. So we know that if we want to keep talking about the issues that actually arrive from IVF, we would actually not end this talk today. It's never
Mm-hmm.
ending.
Yeah.
But then, if you actually have to access IVF and they give you counsel, keep it open and embrace it, like
Mm.
Dr. Ken has said. And don't go about lying to people, even when you embrace, because some people use donor egg and they'll still go about lying. You don't have to tell
Mm.
people that
Mm-hmm.
you use donor egg, but you still don't have to also tell them that you use your own egg. I mean, if you have to open up and tell somebody, you let them know kind of treatment you did.
Oh
That's
yeah.
if you must do that.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, you don't discourage other people and then you don't keep people in the dark such that you keep making them sit back and praying. We're not disputing the fact that yes, miracle happened, but there are some people that you don't know when this miracle will happen. And then if there's a miracle already with you that you can actually embrace and make it happen, why not? Why not embrace it and pray to God that He makes this way work for you, whichever way works for you. Please
Yeah.
keep it open. So we have a question for you, Dr. Ken. Can endometriosis that blocks fallopian tubes be okay? I think the person is saying if it's endometriosis that blocks the fallopian tubes, can should the tubes be removed or IVF is the best solution? Okay, no, the person is saying can the blockage due to endometriosis be removed or IVF is the lasting solution for the person?
Oh well, most likely when endometriosis cause blockages, they damage the fallopian tubes.
Okay.
Sometimes you have the tubes with a toxic fluid in them, what
Mm,
we call hydrosalpinx. Okay,
okay,
and
okay.
endometriosis can actually be in the fallopian tube itself. In
Wow.
which case, it means damage the fallopian tube.
Mm,
So if that is the situation here, then the fallopian tube needs to be taken out.
wow. Okay.
Exactly. Because it's risky leaving it there. It may
Yeah.
be a problem.
Oh, wow.
But if it's just adhesion that affect the tissues around the fallopian tube and kinks the
Okay.
fallopian tube, for instance,
Yes.
you could take care of the adhesion and maybe the fallopian tubes align itself. So it
Okay.
depends on
On the
what
kind of
the
blockage.
the managing physician sees.
Sees.
But
Okay.
what we see with endometriosis, when it gets to a point of affecting the fallopian tubes, usually it is damaging them. Yeah.
Hmm.
So most times they may not be good enough for reproduction.
Wow.
They may not be good enough. So if your doctor has requested or suggested IVF, I think you're better off because that's another area. You may say,
Hmm.
okay, maybe pregnancy will happen tomorrow, maybe it will happen next tomorrow. But you know what
Yeah.
endometriosis does? It goes after the ovaries.
Hmm.
Now it keeps damaging the ovaries and reducing the quality of eggs and the number of eggs.
Wow.
So you can just see that in the next 3 years, she has no eggs anymore,
Yeah.
and she may still be very young. So
Hmm.
that's why we say decision at every point in time is
Time.
very important. An
Important.
early decision. This is when we're studying English,
Hmm.
English without tears. There's an is an adage. What do you call that kind of stuff? Say
A,
early is teaching
a stitch in
time.
time saves.
What do you call that kind of sentences again?
Idiom. No, no, that's not idiomatic.
Idiomatic expression.
Should we? Okay.
Whatever it is, a stitch in time
Saves
saves nine. That's
9
one of the
years.
situations. And even if you're not ready to have babies at that point, if
Yeah.
you can get the eggs, get them and freeze them. Because most ladies with endometriosis that have affected the the pelvis already out, the fallopian tube and the ovaries don't have eggs long enough
Wow.
than ladies without endometriosis.
Matrices.
So you should freeze the eggs. If they can access the egg, freeze the eggs. It's a bad
Okay,
situation
so
there.
we have a comment coming from Josephine Harina. So she said, "I wish I knew this before now. That now she's
Oh
48, no
dear.
marriage, no child, only fibroids, though still has a normal period." Oh
Mhm.
wow, it's a
So you
sad
see fibroids
one.
now.
Yeah, and now she's
That's the issue.
48.
48. So in
Well,
the first place, at the age of 48, if you want to get pregnant, it's egg donation
yeah.
more often than not. Except of
Mm,
course you want to do ovarian rejuvenation, which we still do, but the outcome is not as good as egg donation.
donation.
If your religion precludes you from having egg donation, the ovarian rejuvenation is an option, you
Yeah.
know. But at this stage, your resident ovary,
Doctor. Oh no.
the resident ovary has
Yes.
no good eggs.
Eggs. Hmm.
If at all there are still eggs. She may
Eggs.
also have stopped menstruation.
Well, she said she still has a normal
Okay,
period,
normal
even though
period.
that's
Okay, so
mad
that's fine.
too.
Normal period. So at this point, we can't be freezing eggs.
Eggs, yeah.
So you just have to wait for whatever
Comes
You wait
from
for
it.
it's late. Do you
Mm,
understand it? It's
yes,
late.
exactly.
So now I don't know what to say, but
Well, just when it's
maybe we'll talk in
actually, it's,
private
yeah,
to keep
maybe
it private.
just maybe if
Mm,
you need to talk better, you could
mm,
actually speak with us, because I see that you
mm.
said the person is not married, and no,
Uh-huh.
no.
Yeah,
So, well, you could have a consult and let's know what your fertility
yeah.
thoughts are.
And I can
Maybe we
imagine that the
could give some
fibroids may also be
counsel.
big fibroids.
Yeah, I can. We
Mm,
can only imagine.
mm-hmm.
It's well. We hope for the best for you, Josephine. So we have Be Well Williams. They don't like telling the truth. Okay. I think he or she is reacting to the
Mm,
comments.
mm.
Seriously, the rate of infertility is getting high. What could be the problem? What's really happening? That's, well,
So,
I,
so many things now,
mm,
so many things. People don't get married early,
mm,
and a lot of infections go down there,
mm,
because of socioeconomic activities and the lifestyle and the demography of what we're having now.
mm,
The diet is there, the environmental hazards, the kind of things that goes into us,
mm,
chemicals and all of that,
mm.
the gadgets that we carry, especially for men, the pockets, phones, and all the electromagnetic charged
Kids and all
environments that we
that.
find ourselves.
Wow.
All of these things take down reproduction.
Mm,
And more importantly, social revolution
mm.
in Europe, for instance, that's the major cause for infertility.
Wow.
Social revolution.
Mm,
Women just they don't just give birth. And
mm,
that is why robots are being produced to keep
mm.
human company,
Wow.
because fertility rate is just going
Just going
so
down.
low and
It's
so
really
low, so low.
scary.
Marriages are not in vogue, even giving birth is not in vogue, and all of that. So
That's all.
voluntary infertility
Hmm.
because of social revolution. On this
Hmm.
part of the globe, sub-Saharan Africa is poverty, a lot of infections,
Infections. Wow.
especially during the young age. I
Hmm.
mean, and then delayed marriages, so that by the time you're getting married, you may not have viable eggs,
Hmm.
and the kind of jobs we do. So a lot of things. Our parents married when they were quite young. I'm sure
Young.
my mom married when she was around 19 or 20.
Hmm.
That was
Yeah,
when
exactly.
when she
Back
got
then.
married,
Hmm.
and those are the times that the eggs were of high quality.
Hmm.
High quality eggs give
So,
birth to high
so
quality
yeah,
babies.
I was expecting
I
that.
wasn't the high quality baby. I was very frank with you because I was very sick as a child. I was very sick as a child, so I wish I was better quality than this. Maybe gene editing would have helped me.
Hmm.
Gene editing would have helped me.
Hmm.
But in any case, my mom gave birth to me when she
No,
was
but
a
you're
lot
still a
younger.
hybrid. Maybe it was just waiting for an appointed time, like now.
So that's just it. So those are the things that
Hmm.
women are not counseled on what to
To
do.
do. Yeah.
Especially when marriages are delayed,
Hmm.
or when they are not in a very in a prospective relationship that could end in having babies.
Even the foods now.
Oh yeah, the
The
foods.
quality of food.
Yeah, the
Now
foods.
I'm back there. I
Mm.
know they do a lot of naturals then, but now a lot of junks processed. Oh, it's
Yeah,
just
that's the
what it
that's the
is.
times we're living in.
Okay, and then another thing that worries me. Sometimes when some people even come for this IVF, now they've actually come to the terms of, okay, let's seek IVF. Some of the interventions that they start bringing up, like, okay, you need to do this procedure
Oh yeah.
before the IVF.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They struggle to accept that. Why do I have to? This person just came and they did, and it was just fine. Why do I have to? And.
People are different. Okay,
Mm,
for instance, if a woman has had fibroid surgeries or has had a lot of DNCs with
yes.
poor menstrual flow, of course,
Yeah.
you need to have other intervention as
Mm,
against going straight for IVF. So sometimes they feel you want to just take advantage of them, but
yes.
investigations are investigations. Some of them are invasive, and that is where the laparoscopy come in, the
Yeah.
hysteroscopies come in. If you merit it, your doctor or your physician to tell you the reasons why you merit it. It's up to you to
To
accept or
decide on.
not, you know. So that's just what it is. Some
Hmm.
of these accessory interventions are very important. Very, very important. Yeah.
Okay, so even well, some people seem to be really interested in this fluid and the tube. Said, must the tube with the hydrosalpinx be removed? Can't the fluid be removed to preserve the tube?
Yeah, in the first place, this kind of tube is useless.
Mm.
Even if you remove the fluid there,
To
it is
still
still useless
accumulate.
because it's already diseased. That's why it's
Mm.
accumulating the fluids.
Yeah.
So it's no use. So other things that could be done are this: you don't have to open to remove. You
Yeah.
can block the tube using
Mm.
a laparoscopic means to just block the
Okay.
tube.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
then you could drain it, give
Mm-hmm.
antibiotics, but this is not a
Okay.
very good option.
Option.
Then you could hysteroscopically look at coagulate the osteum,
Okay. Mm.
the osteum,
Oh,
and
wow.
then it disconnects the communications between
Location.
the
Okay.
fluid in the tube and the
And the
uterine
uterus.
cavity. So these
Okay.
are minimally invasive things that can be done.
That can be
So,
done.
but if you don't have the means of doing that, then you can remove the tubes. So we
Okay.
do all of that. We can block the tube, then we
Okay.
can coagulate the connection between the
Oh,
tube
wow. Wow.
and the uterine cavity
Yeah.
through hysteroscopic means, so that
Okay.
even the fluid is there, it doesn't communicate to damage the pregnancy or the baby. So, but the tube is useless anyway.
Mm.
Mm.
So, David, you seem to be very interested in this tube matter. Well, if
Is it from
if you,
Makodi?
okay, so so if just in case you need further clarification, you could actually book an online consultation and have one-on-one with your fertility specialist at ALPS hospitals, so you could actually get further clarification. Lots of questions coming up. What? And people will keep asking questions. Well, viewers, if we're not able to take all your questions today, we would actually attend to them some other time, or we could actually chat with you privately to answer your questions. But I don't know if you have something to tell them just before we conclude the
Well,
show.
since a lot of questions are coming, it shows they have a lot of interest
Yeah.
going. My
Mm.
suggestion to you is that maybe you should take a second part of the discussion next week,
Oh,
or
okay.
whenever you have me or you have some other important guests to handle.
Oh wow. It's thank you, Dr. Ken. So Dr. Ken is giving us another opportunity to have this talk with him. So we'll keep you all guys posted. Just be on the look to see when we would have this talk again. Yeah, even though we have you always every Wednesday and every Friday, but we'll let you know when this topic would come up again. Thank you all for joining. Tessie, I see you. Grace. The list is endless. Princess, Muffin, Nathaniel, Naomi, be well, Lemon, and the list is endless. I really cannot mention all your names, but thank you guys for joining. We are so glad that you guys engaged us, and we really had a good time with you, our dear viewers, and even a lot better time with Dr. Ken, our guest. It was good to have you, Dr.
Thank
Ken.
you, Ruth.
Thank you, viewers, for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you on our next session. Have a lovely evening. Bye.